Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. Make no mistake, this market is volatile. And for as long as you want to make money, all you need to look for is volatility. However, I get it. Most people are swinging more bullish, or rather they want to see a bit more bullishness than bearishness. And that's fine, that's completely fine. But we gotta keep all biases at bay if we want to catch the right moves. It's not about whether price goes up or price goes down, it's about you being on the right side of price. Now, for those of you looking for bullish trade setups, I did post one under the Mango dashboard premium video section right here. That was a trade setup that I actually found right off of the Mango dashboard. And believe it or not, guys, as soon as I posted, 1 hour later, the coin actually rallied. Now, of course, I will be looking for more trade opportunities, and everything that I find goes right here under the premium video section, so make sure to keep up with that. Now, before I go over Bitcoin's trend and volatility profile, let's talk about what's really important. Okay, what's really important, guys, is that in 2 days we open a brand new bi-weekly candle. And the bi-weekly time frame is something that we have been looking at to keep us on the right side of this bull market thus far. In fact, ever since the trend began right here when Bitcoin was at $23,000, it's been trending on that bi-weekly dynamic support, and let's face it, it's nailed us some amazing bid opportunities on Bitcoin through the entire cycle. Now, once again, we're back down at the bid zone, which is none other than the bi-weekly dynamic support, currently coming in from around $101,000 down to $95,000. But here's the thing. Now, is price living over that? Yes, it is, but I do not think it's enough. There's another level that I want to see this candle right here close over come Monday. Now, the bi-weekly dynamic support currently swings in at around $102,000 down to $95,000, but I'm not going to be happy if we just about close over. What I want to see instead, and what would really satisfy my bullish thesis right here, would be price closing over $104,343. Take note of this number if you must. I want to see this candle close over 104.3K. Because if we can do that, I believe we're staring at an amazing bullish trade setup that we last had back in April of this year. That's when price rallied from $78,000 all the way up to $126,000. At which point I will be looking for the Stokes to give us the bullish crossover under the 20 percentile mark, and for the RSI to turn bullish underneath the midpoint right there, as it did back in April of 2025, where prices rallied from 78K all the way up to $129,000, as well as back in September of 2024. That's when we had the RSI dip into that bearish control zone, as well as the Stokes underneath the 20 percentile mark. Once again, that was the signal. It was the same signal in the September 2024 rally as well as in the April 2025 rally, both of which were crazy moves for Bitcoin. In 2025 April, that was a good 62% to the upside. However, for me to lean in on that bullish tilt, I want to see this candle close over 104.3K. If we can do that, I believe the probability of a bullish turn goes up drastically. Another important confluencing factor with that 104.3K being the critical region of support that price needs to defend is none other than the Bollinger MACD system. Now, this is a dual indicator system that we've been looking at to help us figure out if Bitcoin comes down even further or do we see a rally. Now, the recipe is simple in that we want to see price close over the midpoint, as well as for the Stokes to cross bullish. So we want to see the blue line over the red line. But it has to be both. We need the dual effect here. But the key observation I want you guys to make is that the bottom of the Bollinger Band comes in at around 104.3K as well. So defending that is going to be a critical step for the bulls. If we don't do that, then we might see the band expand to the downside, which is not going to be a good look getting into month end. The Mango dashboard suggests that, hey, we might be coming down lower on those lower time frames like the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame. However, we're also very close to support owing to the volatility readings on the 12-hour as well as on the daily time frames. So if we can hold support and then likely bounce from here, we could also potentially trigger an inverted head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish pattern. The best part is closing over 104.3K is the trigger of the pattern. So now you guys see everything coming together. The measured extended move of this pattern will likely take Bitcoin all the way up to $110,000. But what we want to see getting into Monday, guys, is for price to close over 104.3K. For if we can do that, we might be looking at the next biggest move for Bitcoin since the summer of this year. Now, for those of you looking to take the next trade on Bitcoin getting into the next Monday open, then check out BitUnix. They have a 5.5K deposit bonus. This is a bonus that you can use towards fresh trades, and you can also use it towards buffering against losses. I'll be linking it in the description below, so make sure to take advantage of that. But of course, we are going to be following the Bitcoin trade and the levels as they move dynamically with every single new candle open. So if you guys want to keep up with the story, make sure you're hitting the sub. I will now see you in the Discord chat. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.